Hey gang, I'm JC, and this is your daily dose for Friday, April 2nd here at jc'ontheline.com. Yeah, this is what I was talking about yesterday, okay? It's impossible to look cool when you're wearing these, okay? I don't care if you're at a game, I don't care if you're mowing the lawn. If you've got these on, you look like a doofus. Get rid of them, okay? All right, this is just the beginning for our website, jc'ontheline.com. Lots of things coming and lots of things in our archives. If you want to go back and look at some of the stuff we did a week and a half ago at Cardinal Spring Training, just click on the little tab above us that says JC's Daily Dose, and you can go by and look at those things. By the way, did you see this thing right here? Okay, somebody sent me this, and this is one of the alternate logos for the Chicago Cubs, and I guess that bear is supposed to look pissed. Well, you'd be pissed too if you haven't won anything in 100 years. All right, couple of things going on here. We cannot do our home opener baseball show this year. I'm really sorry. I'm still being paid by the radio station through March of next year. I know it sucks, but at the same time, I'm better off than a lot of people, and I got to keep reminding myself of that. But one of these days, we'll be back up and running. In the meantime, I made reference yesterday to the fact that I've got diverticulitis. I don't know where that came from, but you can't have fruits and you can't have vegetables. What does JC love to eat? Fruits and vegetables. So that's the way my life is going these days. By the same token, hopefully this will go away and I will be able to reap what the garden puts forth this year. I'm going to build a garden again because if you've seen the prices on fruits and vegetables like tomatoes and peppers and stuff like that, because of the crappy weather we've had around the world, really not just here but in Chile and lots of other places, it's up like 150, 180%, so I think we're going back to the garden, and we'll take out some of the squirrels in the process. All right, I promised you a family update. Everything's going great. Triple C's okay. She's looking great. Back at work. The baby, little Francesca, turned 6 months old last week. She's doing good, and I'm playing ball again. We've had practices, getting ready to start the season, and again, like I said, still being paid through March of next year. This reminds me of something my father used to say. He used to say, you know, you've made more money by accident than I ever did on purpose. Thank you, Dad. All right, the update on Sandra Bullock, because every day you gotta have one. It's the story that won't go away. Jesse James and Sandra reportedly shouting at one another on the phone this week. Oh, they weren't having an argument. They just both have Verizon. Okay. All right, and by the way, Sandra is not that innocent a person, because one of these days she is going to have to answer about her crimes, like promoting the career of George Lopez. All right, let's move on here. I know it's your Super Bowl this weekend if you are a Christian, and far be it from me to defecate all over one of the big days of the year for you guys. The topic of discussion used to come up often on the old show, and all I've ever asked is for people to sort of answer questions logically, something they have difficulty doing when it comes to religion. Oh, by the way, yesterday it hit 86 degrees. I took down my Christmas lights. My mother-in-law starts giving me a hard time about it. I was like, hey, we already know that Christmas didn't happen in December. It happened in mid-March. All right, they just moved it years later because, I don't know, it clashed with some pagan holidays or something. So as far as I'm concerned, I took my Christmas lights down 2 weeks after Christmas. Anyhow, back to the business at hand. I will never begrudge people for having religion in their lives. I just don't like them to push it on me. I don't like when people try to legislate religion into my life. Please don't assume that I believe everything you do, and don't think less of me because somehow I don't seem religious enough for you, and don't pray for me. JC will say a prayer for you. Well, please don't, because as far as I'm concerned, you're just a little fine line between praying and just sitting in the dark talking to yourself. Oh, by the way, don't tell me one political party is closer to God than another, because we know that's not true either. But anyhow, back to that praying thing. And then you know, if you go to a psychiatrist, the psychiatrist says, well, do you hear voices? And you say, oh, yes. Well, he takes you and he puts you in a state hospital. But if you say you hear God talking to you, somehow you get a free pass. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. It's got to be one or the other. But, you know, Catholic school, 4 years of it all boys, Catholic high school, and I know about the molestation stuff, and I know that it is a huge tragedy for the victims. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. Yes, huge tragedy for the victims, but the second biggest tragedy is that all of the hard-working priests and nuns and people of the clergy, all of those people who really have dedicated their lives to helping people and just living in the religious atmosphere, those people are busting their asses, they have very little money, to less money than they should have to do some of the work they have to do. And so let's recognize them and be fair about things. And I should tell you, a very, very good friend, Everett, deeply devout Christian, helps me with a lot of the tech issues that I have, and he knows where I stand on this, and we have the discussion all the time. And he's reasonable about it, which is why I like him. And in the meantime, we talk about movies. Lilies of the Field, Sidney Poitier, one of my favorite all-time movies. I love the movie, but I always feel silly after watching it. Much the way I feel silly after watching An American President with Annette Bening and Michael Douglas, or the way I feel after watching Dave, the Kevin Kline movie. Because I watch that and I go, wouldn't it be great if that's really the way it was in politics? That's how I feel about Lilies of the Field. Wouldn't it be great if that's really the way it was? So let's just keep it real here. And to my Christian friends celebrating the resurrection of Christ this weekend, explain that colored Easter egg thing, because I still don't get it. And the chocolate bunnies too. Sorry, I'm doing my best over here. All right, we'll be back on Monday, and we're going to talk about my column this month in St. Louis Sports Magazine. We're talking Olympics. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the St. Louis Blues organization. We're going to be at the game tomorrow night. I want to know what happened this year. And also, we're going to talk about the iPad. I have some predictions about that, too. In the meantime, happy birthday to Lori Mack. If you see her this weekend, spank her little behind until it's pink, and wish her a happy birthday from JC. All right, that's it. The Daily Dose for Friday, April 2nd here at jc'ontheline.com. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.